Alright, so I'm going to see. Oh, okay. So I do need to move things over a little bit where it's capturing. That should do it. So, oh, hello. So, oh, were you? I'm starting to sound like somebody I know. Did I move it farther off the screen? Is that what I just did? Oh yeah. Excellent. I mean, I love the game, so the more pathologic the better, right? Oops. Gotta see if that put it back on the screen. Oh yeah, I heard there was a 90% discount for the HD version. Okay, now we're centered. Alrighty. I still have the rest of day 2 to play through, so we'll see if this one ends up being a little longer than usual. Oops. I was not ready for that. So... Or no, we're on day 2, so I did get up through the end. I can't remember if I did the end of the day video or not. I think I did, and then I killed a couple of thugs. That's right. So I just have to start the day and get around. So let's see. Hold on a second. Okay, so I can't remember for the moment, at least, how many quests we're looking at today. It's probably 4, and most of them would probably start with Saparov and Katerina. So I should probably check and see why my pup is whining. I think I probably raided those trash cans last night, and I just raided those again. So yeah, I'm gonna duck into this shop. Oh, we barely don't have enough reputation. I'm gonna see if giving my pup a squirt of ginger water. Oh, and he lost his nin, so there's a little bit of ginger water, and there's the nin. Okay, we're holding it in a way that he's going to rip it right out of his mouth, so I have to wait until he takes his hand away. There, hold it in your mouth. Nope, he's probably gonna pull it right out. Well, at that point I'll have to put it back in, so yep, we just pulled it right out. Okay, hold it like that. Okay. Oh yeah, who are you playing as this time? Is that, I guess who you talk to first? Probably Daniel. Yeah, so I have to find a thug before, yeah, that would have been my guess. If you just started and we're talking to the Canes. So... one more thug. Oops, that's not what I wanted to say. Ah, okay. And there he is. There's our one more thug, and then we can buy needles. Did he see us? Ah! I can't believe he hit us. I'll go and raid the trash cans a little bit through the park, and then we'll get onto our way. Curious. Because generally Clara can start all of her quests before the day starts. So that's another thing that makes her usually have a little bit more time and end a day earlier. Because you don't have to wait to start anything.
What is the Silent House?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there are definitely certain items that are a lot more valuable than others, so that definitely helps to know as you're going through. You were found in the earth, pulled out of a grave. Of course, since they changed this from like the right third of the map used to be called land in the it was the land in the original, and I was hoping they might change it to something else, some word that wasn't like a synonym for like the ground, so then you would actually know when they were talking about like literally was she found in the earth, like in a hole in the ground, or was she found, is he just saying that she was found on that side of the map? I have no idea because they used this word. Pulled out of a grave, so you're saying you've made your way out of the steppe and can't remember anything now. Then I've no doubt that you're the Shabnakadir. I've studied the legends thoroughly. How can I prove that I'm human? It was a joke, obviously. Do you seriously think I would interpret mythical figures literally? That said, there's definitely something obscure about you. I can't get rid of a gnawing feeling that, as I stand here looking into your eyes, you're simultaneously staring at the back of my head. That's because I'm an unusual kind of girl. I cannot get to the bottom of this. There we go. This must be a bad time for me to turn up, right? And this threat of a plague epidemic we're facing, do you know anything about it? An epidemic? No, I know nothing about it. By the way, since you're... I should probably, figure something out with my pup. It's not seeming like we're going to stay peaceful and quiet today. I just fed him, so he should have no complaints in life, but we'll see if a little bit more ginger water makes us happy. There we go. Well, we're happy for another couple of minutes at least. Alright, I can give him 1 more milliliter, so we have one more attempt at trying to get him back to sleep. And if that doesn't work, yeah, he can't pick up Twire, so that's one thing you won't have to worry about. Probably if you ever need trade items, I'd just run through the park, because that's like the most heavily concentrated area of them. I'd try to get a lot of bandages, because you can always sell them. If you get a lot of trade items for the blonde boys, then you'll be able to get those orange pills a lot, and you can save your needles for powders. Definitely going around to all the shops and buying the needles out every day helps, because sometimes that can be like, like a dozen needles, and that's what you need for a powder. So if you do that every day, you'll be able to get about 10 through the course of the game, so that's just what you want. By the way, since you're such a master of good deeds, would you like to do something really beneficial? Why not? Tell me. Then listen, due to the threat of an epidemic, our town's ruling families have divided certain burdensome duties among themselves. Bachelor Dunkovsky has asked our family to take charge of setting up special facilities, as well as commandeering medical supplies. A very wise decision, you think? Well, perhaps. So the thing is, this town's short on medicine. We're scraping together what little we can, but there's a certain someone who's been stockpiling various drugs for 5 years by now. A young singer named Anna Angel. Oh yes, all that medicine will be of no use to her. I don't want to force her to surrender it. After all, with the kind of relationship we have, I can't afford to be rude or intimidating, and you seem capable of being really persuasive, so persuade Anna to donate her stockpile voluntarily. She doesn't need that much anyway. It's more like compulsive hoarding at this point. I'll certainly manage that. I just have to look a person in the eye and they become so docile. I'm a mellower of hardened hearts. Okay. So, powders are a cure-all for the infection, so if you ever get infected, well, my advice would be to run around infected a little bit, because then you can go into plague houses basically for free and collect items, and then once you're done, use a powder to cure the infection. Especially if you've done too much and you don't want to start over. I'm beginning to like you. When I look at you, I get this strange feeling that you're the closest person I have in the world. It's like a spell. And that is true, Vlad Olgimsky. There is no one closer to you than me. My exhaustion is non-existent, which is fantastic. That means we can run around, kill a bunch of thugs, get our reputation into a decent level. And there's a thug now. I'll save for the just in case. Okay. How many knives do you have, sir? Throws one, has one in his hand for the graphic. You can pick one up off his dead body. Oops, I shouldn't run around with my hands out. Don't want to scare anyone. Oh. Well, we're gonna go sell some of our extra junk. Mainly this knife. Oh, I should probably... For some reason I was thinking that this was one that I talked to before, but... I guess he had nothing anyway. Always good to peek around corners before you just walk right out. Alright, sir. Is everything super expensive? Not as expensive on day 2 as anyone else. So, yeah, I'll sell a little bit of what I have just to get it out of here. Oh, come on. And this knife. Okay, so we just scored like 4,000. So that's pretty sweet. I'll sell that too. She doesn't need the ammo, so I could sell all of it. I'll sell that much for now. And keep the shotgun shells. Or not the shotgun shells, those are the ones I just sold. I will keep. Oh my goodness. Either way, it ends up that I sold the shotgun shells, but keep the rifle ammo. Not sure why. If I want to buy some stuff because well, I'll buy another loaf of bread at least. Even though it's probably the most efficient to buy fresh meat. Well, no, I guess, because I think smoked meat is 17%, and fresh meat is like 33%. So it's probably a little bit more efficient to buy the fresh meat, so, which I guess is what I just said. Buys it. Stops thinking about it. We do have a lot of food because I've been breaking into houses, but right now I don't have any more lockpicks, so I can't continue that pattern yet. Oh, I will. No worries there. It'd be nice if we could kill about 3 more thugs before the day starts. Because then our reputation meter will stay high for a little while. I want to go buy those needles. It looks like it's already dropped some, so... Oh, I had waters to collect. They were somewhere. They definitely were. I think in those cans. Or was it this one? Did I check these two? And then I can check the one here. And then I'm gonna go buy those needles. Okie doke. I checked this one, I think. I think I just saw somebody go running by, so somebody's probably getting stabbed to death right now. And it's not by that guy. Okay. We'll drop a save. Okay, one more. Ah. Wow, this guy has way more health than usual. It was probably because, I mean, my health is no object. I have Meridorm, and I'll get more, so... Whoops. Well, I should probably go and kill that thug as well. I don't know yet if he's coming after me. Guess not. Well, now I'm gonna go get those needles. I didn't get too hurt, but it kinda sucks that I did get hurt at all, 'cause I'm a little out of practice, I guess. Did I? Okay, I didn't think I actually bought them. There we go. Definitely want to end up with those. I don't want to keep redoing things over and over though, so if I don't have to, I'll actually just use the health items that I have. Because money doesn't really matter that much to Clara, so... Well, I'm almost at my, I wanted three more thugs at that one point, and I've almost got it, so... Alright, I'll bite. Well, there's the third one now, so... I'm going to... Wow. To really quick kill this thug, and then I'm gonna go see what my pup needs. Maybe I'll go for more headshots. I don't think that makes a difference with her. Alright, so I saw a thug down here. Didn't I? Maybe I'm crazy. Or he got too far away and disappeared. As this game seems to do. The HD version, at least. Okay, I have some junk to sell. So... sell the knife. I can trade the razors away. I think I'm gonna sell these lemons. Oh, I should sell this revolver. It's worth a lot more today, so I'm glad I waited. I probably have enough for her pistol. Alright, I'm gonna see, I wish you could rob shops too, that would be fantastic. Or rob people that you trade with, aside from just the drunks and I guess in this version the little blonde boys. But the needles are for the little blonde girls, and you can trade them to the little boys that have black hair, but it's not really worth it. So I usually save all my needles for powders. Oops. My pup looks very confused. He does a ton of faces where he lifts one eyebrow, and it's always fantastic. He's always looking at you like, what are you doing? Do you even know? Alright. So, the curative substances. You know, while I'm around here, oh, I thought that was a thug for a minute. Guess not. It's just a normal dude. And there's a lady that I would have murdered if I was one of the guys with a decent amount of reputation. Alright, I'll go this way first. Oh, this game is definitely confusing for new players. Wow. Okie doke. Double check that there isn't a second thug. Sometimes that happens. Oh, that lady was still dying. Oh, jeez. Of course, she had nothing to give me. She could have at least given me a ring or something. Made her death a little more worthwhile.
Dogs are howling. Why?
I've never seen you here before. Who have you come to visit? You, I suppose. You are Lara Ravel, right?
Haruspex was offered 100,000 for his inheritance. He refused.
So you've come because you found out we're setting up a shelter. Do you want to take part? It's strictly private, though, and I've never seen you before. Why? I do want to take part. Do I have to donate some money? No, you can't. The harpist wouldn't let me. I have a rule. No one is refused hospitality at this house if they're an honest and honorable person, but the harpist says we can't abide by this rule in the time of epidemic, or else our undertaking will be pointless. Who is that harpist? The harpist is a friend. Just a friend, nothing more. It's not like he gives me orders, but this time I'm trusting his judgment. He's practical, strong-willed, and resolute, and I'm a bit of a gawk, and don't have a lot of guts either. That's why I listened to him on this. I'd like to help you too, but I'm not what you'd call practical. I'm not prepared to put you in charge of supplies for the House of the Living, but there is a way you can help. The harpist has gone off to take a look at an empty house and hasn't come back yet. If he's still there, tell him to come back here as soon as possible. I can't keep up without him. Just that? Your trust seems easy to earn. How will you reward me? This is a riskier thing to do than you think. The house you've chosen is infected. Alright, I'll give you money, but I don't have a lot left. It's all gone into medicine and provisions, but I'd happily give my last shirt to stop something bad from happening to the harpist. I don't need your shirt. That would be over the top. Yes, it is a good sign. It helps in a potent way, and that's no superstition. I'm probably not gonna need to take her money, but we'll see. Cause I already have almost 15k from killing thugs and selling that gun, so it's already another thug. Let's go murder him. I just saved. Okay, I was just about to save again. Oh! Oops. I thought I started to inch over soon enough. Good thing we just saved. Well, I guess all things considered, it is a pretty small town, but yeah, I guess there are more than just a few people. Whoops. I'm backing up into a house, oh no. Yes, just stand there. Excellent. Alrighty. That was good that I didn't get caught on that house. That would have been... Where did she send me? Is it... Okay, it's this house. It's the same one that you go to as Daniel. I don't know why I'm buying food. I guess it doesn't matter since I'm made of money right now. Oh, for a second I was like, where did she send me to go again? Oh yeah. I definitely see that. Alright, I'll be back up to 15k in no time. It's not even close to the beginning of the day either, so I can just keep going after thugs as I, forgot what I was saying. As I, get through the quests a little bit here, when we haven't even started the day. I remembered for somebody they couldn't get into this house without a lockpick. And I believe that was Clara. Okay, I think he's at the top of the stairs. Yes. What unearthly apparition is this? That's the correct term, lucky you. You will live, I promise you. And why would you wander into a gloomy place like this? You can see people have got nothing to do here, and yet you're stuck here for some reason. Have you been here long? I'm doing a civic duty here. My name is the Harpist, and I furnish the house of the living. For now I'm just looking, watching. Look what happens when living matter comes into contact with these infectious miasma. I know very well what happens. Let's go, Lara's worried about you. Alright, and then I want to get out of here, right quick. Whoa! Okay, I knew the Bachelor
The
wouldn't
wretched
leave.
wound has opened.
I have played a bit of Deadly Premonition. I found it largely, silly, I guess, for like the beginning parts. And definitely went on a, crazy driving spree the first time that they put me in a car. What are you doing here? You've just been at Anna's place. Or are there several of you? Go to hell, you and your jokes. Oh. I'm gonna drop a save. As I... No. Alright, we're... Jeez, it was right behind me. Alright, I'm gonna go out the door this time and then come back in. Since I just saved. Yes. Come on, game, you can load. Alright, seems like Daniel's gonna stick around. I'll drop an outdoor, nice safe save. And then we'll go in here. Whoops. Alright. We got free stuff. That's nice. So I guess we can go back to Lara really quick. Yeah, I mean, there are some, like, pretty, nice horror elements to the game, but they just added so much extra silly stuff that, it definitely, detracts from it. I don't know. It seemed like it was intentional, at least, but I've never really understood. Whoops. I knew that was happening. I'm letting him get way too close to me. And here's another one. Whoops. Oh, I thought that was it. So. Alrighty. That was a nice bunch of money there. I should probably use a couple of these bandages I've been investing in. Yes, it is indeed silly. That is basically what we got around to while you were gone. The consensus that we reached. I haven't played the whole game, I just played some of the beginning. I haven't owned it for very long, maybe about a year, and this year has been very full, so I haven't had I walked right into that. I avoided it and then walked right back into him. So that was excellent. I got a bunch of back shots, but for some reason he still took just as many hits to kill. Alright, I got a free bandage, so I guess I don't care. I didn't care in the first place. It's just incidental of all this fighting I've been doing. All these times that I've died. Don't load. Save. Save. Good.
It's nice to see you.
It gets even sillier. I liked what I played of it so far. It seemed like there are a lot of like extra things to do though, so it's definitely one that I want to give a good playthrough of. We'll prepare for the hard times. I hope they don't last long. So is the harpist back? Yes, and that house, I take it, is really infected. It is infected, Lara. You're going to have to set up your shelter here. Here, this is for your help. Take it, I won't need it anymore. So much? Thank you. Or I can say I don't need money and take reputation. I've killed so many thugs though that I don't think I need the reputation right now. So I'm gonna say thank you and take the money. Because look at our reputation, it's almost full. We may have gotten a little bit from helping her anyway, but... Save before I go outside. Oh. I don't know why, but for some reason my mind was like saying that I should kill this drunk. That is not what I wanted to do. Oh, it let me stack those knives. That's nice. There's another thug over there, so I think I might go after him. I can go that way, because I keep meaning to go that way and raid those 4 trash cans that are there, those 2 and around the corner, but and check the shop out. Is the thug really just gone? Just because I rounded the corner? I'm really not liking that about the HD version. Really not liking it. Okay. Drop a save. That's indoors. I don't like outdoor saving. I just don't. Sell that. I don't really need the Twyrin, but I'll keep it for now. I really don't want that, and I don't want those. Okay. I don't know why, but I'm gonna save again. Sorry. I guess I should run up to meet him so I have some space behind. Okay, he took a normal amount of hits to kill. I don't know why. Some of them have been taking like 7 or 8 hits to kill, and it's making me mad. Whoops. Okay. What is this? Silly twists, really? Alright. Where did young Vlad tell us to go? Anna's. And I finished Lara's. And I think the other two are, from, just say mom and dad. Katerina and Sabrov. So, just have to look around a little bit so I don't get stabbed in the face. Our health's getting low, so I have to kind of be careful. I could potentially be killed at this point. Ah! Like that. Just like that. That is exactly how I could be killed. Oh. Apparently the knives only go so far in the HD version as well. That's dumb. It just kind of like disappeared. In the original, that knife will fly 10 miles. I swear. I've seen it done. They'll be like standing like way out there, and you'll see someone like way over there, and they'll throw a knife and it'll hit them. It's just like, how? Or that'll be you. You're standing really far away from them and you start to run away and you think, he couldn't possibly, and then you die. And then you cry. So Anna's, and then to the folks. The pup has the hiccups. I think they're starting to frustrate him. Hiccups are very frustrating if they don't go away after a while. I'm gonna buy this bread, so the bachelor can't get any. It just usually insta-kills you, because it takes away a lot of health, but I have survived it before. I think that's usually when you're like wearing clothes or something, that you'll not die. But you could just have full health. Or it could not hit you right in the face or in the back. That would also be cause for it to not kill you. I think I have space for these things. Not that I really want my inventory to be that full, but I can trade. I'll make a new save. So we're a good chunk through the day already. And the day hasn't even started, really, so that's Clara's path. You just finish everything very quickly. And then you have a lot of day left to run around and trade.
Is Haruspix planning to get rich here? The prices rose 5-fold over the morning.
Yeah, that would be crazy if the shops only had so many goods and from playthrough to playthrough. Like, sure, you can carry items over from your last playthrough, but everything you bought in shops is already gone. You know? That would, I guess on your 3rd or like 10th playthrough, you would just have maxed everything out already. But if you got to keep your items, where, you know, sometimes you collect 50, like, fresh meats or something, so you carry over and you just never have to go to a shop again. Such a pretty girl you are, charming. The Olgimskis have been ordered to commandeer all medicines, Anna. They say you have a lot of every variety, is it true? Why are your eyes like that, as though you're going to eat me?
Have you met ominous people in circus costumes here?
In the original, she says circus suits, so it kind of flows. No, I don't have any medicine. When I was young, I used to play at the house of a wicked witch. Now that's who had a real stash for every disease. She lived for 100 years. Her place had that pharmacy smell everywhere. Do you take me for someone like that, Crone? Nonsense. Don't lie to me, Anna. I even know where you keep it. Why are you trying to deceive me? Oh, what a pain. This is surely a plot against me. They want to kill me, destroy my life, send me to an early grave. An early grave, yes. Listen, I don't want some disease to eat me alive, to ruin my skin. Leave me that if nothing else, or just shoot me with a gun. It's not their fault, Anna. It was an order. Give them at least some of it. Leave the best looking ones for yourself. I think that's a good idea, isn't it? Look here. Leave me alone, my dear, and I will show my gratitude. I have means too, you didn't you know? I'll tell you another thing. That Ripper, the one from yesterday, the Olgimskis have given him shelter. So the thing is, they don't have to snatch medicine from the people. He knows how to make his own. Really? Common folk are gossiping about it already. His father knew the secret, and he, the Ripper, has been concealing his art from Vlad, because there's a mystery involved, and he needs blood. And he probably guessed that Olgimski would make him work to return the favor. I wish he did just that. Just show them this mixture to Vlad, and he'll have that man chained to the wall by his leg at once. How can someone like that be put in chains? And I can see that you're really sticking together in here. I have no reason to like this murderer. Find out if it's true. If it is, give Vlad the hint and he'll have him get down to business. Then we can get rid of that horrible Haruspix. May he curl up and die beside his alembic. Just make sure to find out if he can or can't. We need to be certain. Alright, but how? He's already prepared several concoctions. That's what the herb bride says. You know, the naked one. The swarthy local who always gathers herbs in the steppe. You know her. She belongs to one of the gatherers. He warms the earth for her. Let's inquire, shall we? Alright, we'll do it your way, but you owe me one. Alrighty. And then to the parents. I think she told me where to go. Yeah, it's that one. No, it's all of them. I'm pretty sure it's this one. But you know what? I don't remember. We can save and run amok. Alright, let me catch up on what's going on over here with you guys. Anna is part of Clara's bound. So she always thinks that the Olgimskis are out to get her. That they want to kill her. All the people who kind of like have a bad reputation of the bound are usually Clara's, to assume. Alrighty. Yes, that's right, I was going to the parents. I didn't think that guy was gonna cut over. Okay, I don't have enough waters anyway, so... Oh, I should go get the needles for the day too. Now I have less money. Because I keep buying food, because I'm crazy. I have lockpicks, I don't need to buy food. The characters you play as aren't related to anyone.
They say hitting hard is a good enough start.
Considering that the only person that was related to somebody was Barack, but his father is dead before you get to the town, so you don't talk to anybody who's actually related to one of the main characters. By blood, at least. I spent the night in thought and recollection, trying to trace the logic of the supernatural retribution that has befallen our community. It has been revealed to my wife that there is a creature among us who is to blame for all that is happening. I've gone through a list of possible suspects. I have it here in front of me. Every one of these people could turn out to be a criminal, the one that brought this disaster down upon us. I find them suspicious too. Their very names feel evil. I only want one thing, and that is justice. This is a case where we can dispense with evidence and trials. When the last dawn is rising above the world, it is time for arguments of a different nature. A trial resting on conscience, and a verdict resting on faith. Find the culprit for us. It is why you've come into this world and into our house, the house of the town's rulers. But how am I supposed to do it, Father? I can call you that now, right? First of all, you must gain the trust of the person I believe to be the criminal responsible for this. Anyone would find the task complicated and demanding, except for you, since all you have to do is to predict the slightest movement of their soul. Do something for them, raise their spirits, astonish them. Surely you can. There's no need to go over all that. I explained it to you myself after all, and then? Yes, you will lull them in with your words. Then make them answer your questions and see if they are guilty. My wife is positive that if you first win a person's favorable disposition and then astonish them, you will succeed. They will not be able to avoid your thrall, for you are destiny. That is true. Sometimes the precision of your definitions scare me, Father. Alright, I'm going to see to my pup really quick. See if a little bit of ginger water goes a long way. he's like, ooh, ginger water, the best thing in the world. Okay. And that's the last of the ginger water I can give him for right now. Yes, that is a good way to say how they're grouped. I wasn't sure if describing all of that gives anything away, but I don't know. I guess it's something that you kind of discover as you play, and some of them actually will like come out and say it, especially in Clara's run, when those terms are first used, or mostly used. Okay, I will trust you. All I want to know is who brought the deadly disease upon our homes and our heads. Even the basest of scoundrels will suffer nothing at my hands if they are not guilty of our present predicament. And who should I begin with? A mysterious creature named Aspity will, I am sure, be the best start. Children say she is an evil spirit. Simon didn't like her. That bitch has been called a walking plague even before this. I'm sure that a woman, a man-eater, and a spawn of the steppe, which is exactly what a Shabnok is a fitting description for her. How do I make her reveal herself after I've gained her trust? Who can tell me something about her that she'd be surprised to hear? Right, you don't know anybody here. The shortest way is via the Olgimskis. Ask Vlad the Younger, Olgimski's son. The Olgimskis must have old scores to settle with her. Besides, Vlad the Younger is knowledgeable about the legends and traditions of the steppe people. He will instruct you. Yes, father, I'll do my duty. Okay, so that probably would have been when we went to young Vlad's, so I guess I'm gonna talk to Katharina first, but I'll go out to this worm, and then I'll hit young Vlad's, and if that worm didn't pan out, which I'm pretty sure it's that one, we'll see. Then I'll go to this worm. Pretty sure it's not that one. Pretty sure it's that one, but I guess we'll see.
My strength will complement her weakness. It's time for our family to shine.
Let justice prevail. Mercy to the innocent, a reckoning to the guilty. Just don't be angry with me. Whatever happened to mercy for the penitent? My hunger is getting kind of high. And now it's not.
It is as if my temples were pierced with needles. Do something.
I mean, just saying what the groups are doesn't really, like, tip the scale at all, but I guess looking up what they are might. But oops, what just happened here? Alrighty. Now I shall speak to you of the higher causes of the unfolding disaster. Like roots, they are invisible to the eye. When one plucks a weed, one removes merely the consequence, not the underlying cause. You are the only one capable of a true victory, and that's why I am going to tell you about the roots. So listen. I'm listening. These are our parties. The first thing, the original creator was creation. Oh, I'm gonna start that sentence over. The first thing, the original creation, was the earth. The ancient one, giving the life to plants and animals. She begat the abattoir, she begat the kin. She gives and she takes. The dead go into her, everything ends with her. She is the inception and the completion, such is the law. We the Saburovs act in the interests of the law, by which everyone must abide. Ours is a faith of humility. A wise faith. A town sprang up from the earth. A town of men was built upon her. The earth eternal, the giver of life, built by greed and creativity, by ingenuity and hard work. The abattoir found its continuation in the works and the railway. The hands of the Olgimskis crafted an environment in which people could develop and reflect. Theirs is a faith of construction, a necessary faith. Finally, the minds of the people, desiring to overcome the limits set for human beings by their nature and condition, engendered projects that were fantastic and audacious. That was how the party of creativity and invention emerged and flourished. The party of the Canes. Theirs is the faith of utopia, a belief in miracles, a belief in a non-existent place, a weird faith. I foresee myself knowing why this punishment has befallen us. The town lived, grew, developed, and finally tried to break free of its own limitations. The earth that had borne it hit on its head. Alright, let's see what the pup... Hello, pup. Yeah, those factions are mostly described in Clara's Path. I think they're kind of hinted at very lightly toward the end in the Bachelor's Path, and they're really lightly used in the Haruspeck's Path, but they're mostly used for Clara's Path. Puppy doo. Yeah, there are a lot more reveals in Clara's Path. I think they assume that since her path is unlockable that you'd probably play her path second. Although I played her path last. I did the Bachelor's run and then the Haruspeck's and then her, because I figured that her path would have the most secrets. The most tying random things together and making things come full circle. Oops. My pup really likes a stuffed animal, Cat in the Hat, and I set it down in his lap and he just grabbed it and smashed him into his face. He's really soft, so it's not like it hurt him or anything, but it seemed to have shocked him into a state of no longer being upset. And now he's just staring at his hat. And does not want his nan. Okay. Back to it. Yeah, it does feel like you should play it last. I foresee myself knowing why this punishment has befallen us. The town lived, grew, developed, and finally tried to break free of its own limitations. I already read that. The earth that had borne it hit on its head, which it had stuck out too far, much like the strict mother would do to her unthinking child. So this is the will of the earth. I believe that the earth wishes to return unto herself what has moved waywardly out of her reach. And before I explain to you the path that I am setting before you, I want to know for certain whether I have my dear child on my side. Yes, Katerina, I believe that our faith is the true one. Whoops. You will speak to those bound to you about the truth of humility. You are to convince one of them, two of them, three of them, of the true faith's wisdom. Should some of them prove stubborn, you will use the powers that you were granted to you by Providence itself. What happens to them afterwards, if I do convert them? The evil will not touch them. You will see it for yourself. They will become invulnerable to the scythe that will cut down the brazen, the blind, and the bellicose. Save them. Alright. You shall begin with Grace, the late cemetery caretaker's daughter. She is especially dear to me. With Grace, doesn't she sympathize with you, with us? I want to be certain of that. Make friends with her. Try to make her like you and grow an affection for you eventually. You don't need much for this. And if you need to find out more about her, Lara Ravel is the person who will tell you all about Grace. She is as much of an angel of kindness as the poor daughter of the caretaker, and her father has recently died too. I trust you, Katerina. What you're saying is wise and true. Okay, so I guess we end up having to go to young Vlad and Lara anyway, so that works out.
You'll have to withstand trials. We need to hurry.
Although, because young Vlad's I have to finish Anna's quest first. So... okay, the day's just about to start, so... I shouldn't have to be too careful. I'm gonna start heading this way, and then save before I cross the bridge. It all ends in less than 11 days. Day 2, in which the changeling discovers her just judge skills, simultaneously converting it into the truth of faith. Oops. Reads while murders. Alright. It's my last thug of the day, right? Oops, I only have 2 waters. Oh yeah, I was gonna go that way. Alright, I save right here then. I'm gonna go out to that worm over here, and if it's the wrong one, I might reload from that save. I can't get ear bandage either. Let's cry about it. So I feel like Daniel is like the best like tutorial person to start with. His like quests are even like in a tutorial sort of order, where it kind of like day 2 is like your trade tutorial day, and it's just like funny how like the days for him just kind of move in a pattern of like almost like teaching you what to do. Barack's just kind of tosses you in. So I'm really glad that I didn't do his path first. Go this way. Alrighty. Looks like there is some twire right there, but not the kind that I want. What do you want, Earth Daughter? Has a big man come to you, sinewy arms, apt to violence, Harspex is the name. There is more than one Harspex here, more than one man that knows. Which of them do you need? The biggest and the most dangerous is Foreman Oyen. He came here 2 days ago, trampled our fires and yurts. We would have died under his hooves had we not hidden ourselves. No, I have no desire to meet a monster like that. I need a stranger, one of the outsiders. It is Barak. You need Barak. Not the old, the young one. Yes, he came here. Did he bring his herb formulas? He did. I didn't take them. He took them to the dealers. Took to sell to the dealers. Who are these dealers? Herb dealers are all in the den. A cruel man reigns there, an artist, a builder, the one that also came from the other end of the steppe, the end where only the dressed-up dead and Suaks dwell. He makes fire tinctures here. He blasphemes. He abuses the herb. And how does he blaspheme against it? It's a weird way to use that word. He treats herbs badly. He tries their patience, gives more money for them than we do. He sets us against each other, made us kill those who'd given him the secret spices. If you ever find herbs, don't give them to him. He'll hurt them. Want me to sell them to you? No business shall we have with you, for you smell of clay. Don't you ever come back here, for you smell of rich clotted clay. You freak. Okay. There's a Savi. There's another Savi. I don't feel like picking them up. I don't want them to take up my inventory. I guess you'll just have to find out, won't you? I mean, because you can really go either way with some of the hints so far. Because the worm could have just thought you smelled like clay because you were lying in the dirt and are covered in clay.
Oh, I would have let my fists loose if not for these pins.
Or you could just very well be made of clay. Oh, jeez. Did you get it? Am I seeing double? I thought there was only one pair of twins in this town. This looks like a fun place.
Why are you standing there like a dummy?
So what are you doing in this opium den? Want some hashish? Or are you waiting for this step diva to fall into another of her trances and throw off the last of her rags? Are you even 12 yet? Let our herbs do the talking for us. How about some haggling? So you can trade for Barak's mixtures here.
The prices are rising 5-fold every hour. What a laugh. I'd stock up on bars of soap if I wasn't too lazy for that.
Did the Haruspex sell you any of his Twyron infusions? Wow, Heaven's Angel here knows her controlled substances. Go figure. Yeah, he did sell me some. Why are you asking? Oh, Gimsky was asking. Haha, the old shark, right? So if Vlad finds out that this cutthroat has learned to mix herbs, the guy's in for it. Vlad the wholesaler's already got, what, 8,000 indentured servants? What's one more? Ouch. It's up to you if I should rat him out to Vlad. The Haruspex will be useful to you, so don't cross him. He'll figure out who the snitch was right away. I can sell you some immune system boosters, but they'll cost you. Show me. And again, I don't want them.
Why are you standing there like a dummy?
think. That I don't have to go back to Anna, but I'm going to see if she gives us anything. Although I think I should go back to her after I've told young Vlad one way or the other. I keep forgetting that I don't have anything. And I only had 2, so I still can't get that. Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to keep those spiders around. Alright, one more bottle of water so I can get this this bandage. Finally. I do vaguely want to run by Griff's. Oops.
My hair is disheveled and coming out.
And I'm back. The Ogimskis are waiting. Give me the medicine. It won't help you anyway. How can you know that they won't? Pray, Anna. You're looking for salvation in the wrong place.
Algimski is buying up whatever medicine there is. I wonder why.
Okay. Across the river. I think I'll head back to Griff's and then circle around and go to Young Vlad's. I can turn in this quest and then start the next one of his and, well, I guess it's really Sabarov's. And then we'll circle back to Lara while we do his quest. Go talk to Aspity after that. Yeah, I like to jot down notes while I'm playing this game too. Anything extra that I can add to my walkthrough. I still can't decide if I want to add all the gifts that you get from people, or just let it be a surprise, because so far in my walkthrough I just say, and then return to this person for goodies. I want to see how much the gun costs today. It was 5k yesterday.
A part off sent to the well is broken at last.
Oops. Oh jeez, it's 25,000 today. I should have tried to get it yesterday. Although, yeah, the powder didn't go up enough. Wow, that's crazy. If I hadn't bought so many loaves of bread, I'd be closer to it, where I'd only need 5k. But yesterday I only needed 5k, so we're definitely gonna wait to get that gun. I don't need it anyway. Yeah, if you want to take notes, you literally have to stop and take notes after everybody you talk to. Yeah, that's true. It's generally better to do all the quests anyway, just because I think it helps your chances of them not getting sick later. That would be my assumption. Whether it's true or not, is my best guess. But I usually do almost every quest in the game, and usually by the end I don't really have that many people get sick. Sometimes it's like only 2 people on a good run, so...
We promise according to our hopes. We perform according to our fears.
Could you tell me about Aspity then? You know who that is, right? How could I not? A most interesting person, so you've met her already. That was quick. What do you need her for? Alexander Saburov wants to find the criminal guilty of bringing about the calamities threatening you all. I'm acting on his behalf. Isn't it the other way around? Never mind, just kidding. So he advises you to ask me. Crafty that. I've underestimated him. So essentially he wants me to do a favor by getting this monster out of our way. She's a monster? She's the reason for all the kin's riots and unrest. No one has ever harmed our family more. Sometimes I feel she's an evil spirit. She appeared suddenly, after one of the riots. At that time, my father had brutally crushed the revolting butchers, and it was then that he appointed Oyan as their foreman. Is that so? Yes, and ever since then I've thought of her as a personification of the kin's defiance. I've even begun to confuse cause and consequence. Did she appear to avenge our cruelty, or are her provocations forcing my father's hand? It's become a vicious circle. So you believe she's an avenger, an embodiment of divine retribution? Retribution. Isn't that too grand a role for her? No, I saw her just a little while ago. Can't forget her eyes. Languid, but also very keen and intent. Sardonic. And before that, she used to act as if I didn't exist. She preferred to curse my father, threatening to ruin him. Either way. It's all really, really strange. What's so strange about it? You know what just occurred to me? That she's already taken care of my father. What do you mean? Exactly that. Yes. There's a reason things have been going on the way that they have. And the horrible thing at the termitary, yes, she's aimed a battering ram at him that will strike him down any time now. And she's shifting her attention to me. That's what's happening. Should I warn him? I don't like this, but he's angry at me. Yes, it will do good to speak with him. That's where I can find a hook. Oh, I have to talk to him twice.
Haruspex did have the guts to accept his heritage in the end.
Yeah, I love that certain characters like are taller and shorter than others. Brock's the tallest and Clara's very short, so it definitely is pretty silly. I've talked to Anna. So you're saying she's been stockpiling medicines for 5 years, awaiting for the second coming of the plague? Yes, that's right. Curious now, aren't you? No, Anna's not someone to suspect of starting the outbreak. Did she give up her stash? Like she had a choice, of course she did. How did you manage that? I explained to her that none of it would help anyway. Is that true? Yes. How do you know? So you still haven't realized who I am? Are you not surprised that she gave me all of it so easily? Well, I think I finally know who's standing before me. I'm torn once again. My heart is begging me to offer you everlasting friendship, while my head would rather have me stay away from you. Don't worry, your words won't change anything. There's no one closer to you than me. Remember that. 500 money. Excellent. All that for a measly 500. Choice to live like this. And all of the noise, I am silent. Be right to so no, I just can't. I won't ever know. Oh yeah, I'm going to Lara's. I was gonna say, where am I going? To go collect more hooks. That's where I'm going. And then back to Big Vlad's is where we were sent next. Although it's not on the map. I gave Anna's medicine supply to Vlad the Younger. Alright. Don't the sister quests start the 4th day or is it the 6th day? It might be the 5th day, somewhere in there. I'll get that pistol for Clara eventually. Not today, because it's 25k.
It is not so dangerous to do wrong to most men as to do them too much good.
We'll prepare for the hard times. I hope they won't last long. Lara, tell me about Grace. You know her, don't you? What makes you think I do? You're similar. You both live for the sake of the dead, or am I wrong? You're both kind souls, almost blessed fools, just like me, I suppose. I sense people who are like that. Why would you put it like that? A kind soul is not the same as a kind person. You're crafty after all. You seem to say perfectly good things, but they're actually quite backhanded, so you've probably got something like that in store for Grace too, don't you? Lara, you're not listening to me at all. I barely know Grace. We haven't spoken a lot. Do you want to make friends with her? Of course I do. If you want to make a good impression on Grace, bring her some flowers, bread, and milk for the dead. She'll be elated to do anything for you. That simple? And what do I give Grace herself? She doesn't need anything. Flowers, bread, and milk. I forgot about that. I think I'm gonna make a note of that for the future. So I don't forget again. Because I can't remember if I have a flower still or not. I may have traded it for a powder. She doesn't need anything. With people like Grace and me, it's the good done to one's neighbors that matter. I thought you understood that. I do. It's called selflessness. Alright. Moment of truth. And we do have a flower. We do not have milk, however, so I need to stop at a shop. I don't think I have enough waters for a drunk, so well, I guess I have to check in this tab, not that one. I only have one, so either way. Yeah, it would be interesting if the other main characters were where you had them on given days. It would be funny if they were just walking along. Then you would be able to just be like, hey, there's the Bachelor. The same place and time that I am as Clara. And it would just be silly, but just to see how certain things line up. But there really is like such a variation to each day that I think just having them be like certain places throughout the day, like for hours 4 through 8 of the day, the Bachelor will be at Anna's, where you could just like go and see him. I have to find a shop that sells milk. Check this one really quick. Yeah, it'd be cool if they had the major characters in certain places where you'd actually be able to find them at any given time on a day, mumbling something about the quest that they're currently working on. Okay, so no milk there. Yeah, in my case, there would, I guess if items didn't stick, imagine if like there was only like a set number of people in the game, so I murdered everybody.
Who will take Simon's place?
And because I murdered...
It's not the time for us to look for trouble.
I don't like this voice clip very much. The one that goes on forever. Well, I guess that was a different one. Where he says 4 different things and pauses between them all, so I always think he's done if I'm not paying attention, and he's not yet. But what if there were a set number of NPCs for all 3 playthroughs, and as the Bachelor and as Barack, I killed them all, so that Clara wouldn't be able to kill any to raise her reputation? Wouldn't that just be it? What's wrong, girl? Or wrong door, girl. Victoria lives in the other wing of the house. I'm Clara. What is this place? Clara, this house is called The Lump, and I am Vlad Olgimsky. What does my name ring no bells at all? None whatsoever.
Swine. Beasts. I shouldn't have indulged their whims.
I preferred his voice in the original. What's this now? Boss so skinny. I've come to warn you, you're in danger. What? What the? Who sent you? Was it Yakla? Yaklak? Aspity has set up a trap. You don't have to. I just wanted to do good. I know who you are. You're the Sabarov foundling. Move along. You may regret it. My family is at the peak of its power now, and you think you can warn me about some danger, especially when it's from that half-witted beggar? It's what your son wanted me to say. Aspity, I'd crush her with a single stare. If I ever deigned her worthy of my notice. As you wish, but now I'm offended. Crush her? Go ahead and try. Ah, so it's money you want, you little informer. I can appreciate that. I really can. So take this for, saving my life. I'll have a better look at her then. That's better. You'll appreciate me yet. I want the money, okay? I don't think he says anything else.
Who will take Simon's place? No. It's not the time for us to look for trouble.
Whoops. I don't mind taking money from him. He's got a ton of money. Okay, so we can return to, oh, I have to find milk first, that's right. Yeah, it would be pretty amazing if I could murder everybody. Wouldn't it? Oh, you know what? The shotgun shells are worth a little bit more, so I'll start getting those instead. By the time I can actually afford the gun on a particular day. Oh man, I'm gonna have so many bullets. There's another little girl. I'll try to trade with her really quick. And try to empty my inventory a little. I have enough for 2 powders, that's nice. I kinda wanna wait until it's a shotgun shell instead, so I'm gonna hold off. See if we can get milk here. That would be... of course not. There was somebody else you can talk to about Aspity, but I don't know if I remember who it is. It could have been Capella. Maybe I should have gone and talked to her. I'll try and talk to her without talking to anyone else, and we'll see how that goes. Assuming I can find milk at one of these shops. I did mean to go over and get the needles. Here we go. I remembered seeing it at one of the shops. No, I guess I'll turn around and go to Grace's now. Maybe she has something to say about Aspity. Yeah, I could have gotten the gun day one if I had sold my powder. Because it was only worth 5,000. I could have sold it today for twice its cost and then bought another one tomorrow for 5 times its cost. Excuse me, not twice. My exhaustion is running rather high, so by the time I go to Aspity's, I'm gonna want to sleep. Try to trade with this girl. Shotgun shells? No. Because the gun, it's only 25,000 today. It should be much less tomorrow. And then it will have been more profitable for me to have waited because I didn't have to sell the gun that I had, which that revolver I sold, waiting to sell it. It was worth 5K instead of just 1.
It's chilly here.
Oh, I should have
Very
saved
chilly.
before talking to her. There we go.
They don't trust me. Like I don't know what to do.
You're so skinny, your wrists are even thinner than mine. Do you hear the metal things clinking on my chest? Those are keys or lockpicks. They're a special kind of hook. Look what I've brought you, Grace. Ah, flowers. So beautiful, too. Thank you. How did you know? Those are exactly the ones I wanted to offer Farkad. He likes the color red. Perhaps you're fond of them, too. Fond of whom? Well, the flowers are for them, aren't they? Of course they are. And is there anything I could do for you? I'd be glad to, because just yesterday, as I was looking at you, I thought I'd like to give you a hook. Do you really trust me just like that? Will you agree to talk to me? Oops. I trust you as I trust myself. I'm all ears, dear sister. I cannot get my mouse to stop moving like that. Yeah, I've always meant to, because most, like, the food, is all level, so, you'd also have to include, there's one shop every day that has different prices than the rest. So you'd have to include that shop in comparison as well. And it's the same for all 3 runs. It's the same shop. So, you'd have to include the prices at all the shops, and then the which shop has the different prices and what those prices are for each day. So, I've always meant to do that. I know it for most days, but there are a couple days when I have no idea what the prices are like. I trust you as I trust myself. I'm all yours, dear sister. Who are you? I'm Grace. My father was the caretaker of this cemetery. He poured milk and twine over the graves My mother swept the gravestones with her hair. They taught me to listen to the dead. What will become of us, Grace? There will soon be a plague. Why is this happening to us? Because there's no escaping it now, and it's been coming to us from the steppe, getting closer, step by step. The dead felt her coming. She pierced the earth with her sharp bone stilts. We reached them underground. No one will be spared. Do you know why it happened? No, but I'm afraid it is the punishment for our sins. For our faults and transgressions, someone among us has angered the heavenly powers. It was bound to happen, with us being so brazen. Says so, Lady Katarina. Exactly. I'm glad that your faith is firm. I promise you that as long as you can muster the strength to accept the divine will, nothing will hurt you. Okay. Oops. I think our run is going pretty well. It's 10:30 and I'm most of the way through the day, so that's how Clara's path kind of goes, though. I have a lot of time to run around and trade, even though I've done a lot of that in the video so far. We'll save here too.
No. There's no escape from here.
Okay. Psst. For a moment there, I thought I was suddenly in front of a mirror. You have the same bottomless eyes as me. That's because you and I are flesh of the same mother's flesh. Who is she, this mother of ours? The earth. Who are you? I call myself Saba Utun. The children of Badho call me Saba Uspte, which the locals here have already corrupted to Aspity. What's your name? So I have to remember this one, because this is the name that she calls herself. Saba Utun. Phew. So you're not who I almost thought you were. My name's Clara, but you can call me the Harbinger. So it actually matters to you what name I'm going to use. Alright then. Let's say I'm Clara. Okay, I'm gonna say the first one. Clara, huh? Doesn't ring true. The name would better suit some holy martyr than a spawn of deities and grown in time. I pay no mind to your words. You're playing with me. I am not the spawn of evil. If that's the price of your kinship, then so much for sisters, Aspity. Say the first one.
Pins are sticking out of the pores of my skin.
You're insistent, pushy even. If you're disowning our kinship, then why the friendly look? I need to talk to you, to confide in you if you like. I don't trust you. Why bother to talk, We'd be better off together than each on our own. Quite the contrary. We'd be much better off on our own than together. Would you perhaps like me to do something for you? What could I do to warm you up to me? Listen here, Nimble darling. If you really want to have a nice conversation to me, then bring me Barack. Know who that is? I see you do. I can't leave my house now, and he needs me badly. And why are you so worried? That's none of your concern. I know it myself. You moron, it's not what you think. It's about his life and his duty. I'm worried. He's being hunted. If you find him, tell him that I've got the key to his destiny. He ought to hurry. Time is of the essence. If he's in doubt, whisper one word to him, inheritance. Fine, I'll do the whisper, but if I do find him, you owe me that conversation. So we're off to find Barack. Off in the plants he is. Did I finish? Yeah, I guess I've finished the 3 side quests, so and we're almost done with the day quest, so We're gonna finish this day by like 11. I still have to sleep though, so that'll help get rid of some time at least. And a piece of twire between these two buildings. Oops, I didn't want to pick that up. Throws it away. Oh, I picked up a bangle though. Makes me laugh every time. Can I store it here with you?
I
No.
need a good sleep today. These herb-gathering worms have little in common with men.
Oh yeah, I never walk anywhere near the flamethrower guys. Ugh. Yeah, I'd never finished my, Clara Let's Play for my YouTube series, but I have the first 5 days on there. If that's any, like, comparison, because that's the original, versus, the HD version here. But, I did mean to finish my Let's Play at some point, so I was thinking of doing that pretty soon. Well, yeah, they can, well, I guess if you can dodge them, or if you can run just close enough that they'll get the rat, but by the time they start spraying, you'll be out of the way, but it's really difficult to do, so I usually just avoid walking next to them at all costs, or I'll look both ways before I walk next to them, because sometimes they attack you for no reason as well. If you're infected, they'll attack you. Aha, are those your crimes that the entire town is now hunting me for? I mean, how blind does one have to be to mix us up? I'm in the same situation, persecuted for harm done to these people, apparently by my sister. Fine sister you've got, more of a menace than any caravan. Few people could hope to cause such a commotion. The worst thing is, we're twins.
What was that? I must be seeing things.
What's your business here? Aspity claims she's holding the key to your destiny. Go and see her. Who's Aspity? So you don't know. She's a woman living in the kip on the edge of the earth. Some people call the place a hospice. Haha, an excellent recommendation. Nevertheless, I believed her at once. I'll visit this woman of yours. Show me where she lives. It's the only house with a cellar in the quarter which corners on the abattoir and runs adjacent to the cemetery.
There's nothing to talk about now.
Guess not. None, just loitering. Look around while I'm in here. There's a crate. 2 crates right there. A door you can't get into. Well, yeah, I've got even more frustration that's gonna be caused by those guys if that, sound clip keeps playing every time there's fire on the screen. You heard that horrible noise. I'm gonna have to turn all the sound off for the last few days of the game. It's gonna drive me insane. That roar. It's so loud in my ear. I'm gonna have to figure that out. See if I can find it like in a folder and delete it or something. It's so jarring.
What are the architect brothers up to? Escaping the town? Made a mess and chickened out?
You are insistent, pushy even. If If you're disowning our kinship, then why the friendly look? I've told him he will come. He's been here already. What did you want to talk about? Ask quickly. And you're not going to interrupt me? No, I'm not. Speak. Saba Utun, oh Saba Utun, I know of you this. You've fallen in love with this Barak. Would you agree to touch me, to brave the depths, to answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? What do you want to know? Did you cause the epidemic? I could be, but I haven't done anything recently, though I did organize that riot which got the infected Isidore in a bit of a pickle. I don't think that's a question. The Shabnakadir exists, is it you? Which of us is the reason for everything? Which of us is a figurine with the clot of a living soul residing in her but for a while? Which of us is the true Shabnakadir? You'll see in the end. I'll be of service to you yet, changeling. Spare me. Don't let your sister out. Don't let her take over. Why did you call me that? That is your great blessing. You're a thief now, having stolen the name and fate of another. Beware of the law. You'll live through your persecution and emerge triumphant. Maybe. I'll think it over. Alrighty. Back to the parents now. Whoops. Sees needle, ignores needle. Alright, little girl. You just stop there and make me walk up to you. I'm gonna walk around this way so I can stop in at that one tailor's shop. Ah, I only have 2 waters still. I missed a lot of bandages today because I haven't been collecting many waters. I just heard a really strange noise. Cats. What do you mean that she's just a random person? Because she's definitely the daughter of a Twyran bride and a worm, which I guess is a spectacle. Something that doesn't usually happen, because they make it seem like it's really weird or something. Must just not be that common. There is a story about how she arrived, but she's been around for a while, I think, because she was running that tavern that's closed in the...
My chest hurts. Can it be conscience?
Just, oh, let's see. I spoke with Aspedy. I got inside her soul. I never doubted you would. What's in there? Nothing. She has no soul. What's your verdict then? Is she guilty? No, she isn't. Not good. So there's been no miracle? Dare I remind you, this is not for you to judge. On the other hand, I have suspected that it would be impossible to pinpoint the culprit at once. That tips the scale a little more against your twin sister. Beware, Clara. Your reputation has taken a serious blow. The rabble does not distinguish between the two of you. All the same, she's not guilty. So that hurt my reputation a little bit, but it was pretty much full, so it doesn't really matter. I am... Oh. I thought I had some Meridorm. I guess I'm gonna run around and trade with one of the little boys before I go to sleep, because I would really like to use one. But this conversation will technically end our day.
I need morphine.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there's definitely some supernatural stuff going on, and some people definitely know things that they shouldn't know. Like Grace just told you, day 2, yeah, there's gonna be a plague. I was like, oh, well. Some people just like know things like suddenly, or you can tell like through like playing throughout the course of the game who talks to who actually likes each other and who's just like pretending. Yeah, the Bachelor talks to the albino. Is that day 5 or 6? The polyhedron is really wiggy. Whatever is up with that structure, be it just a wonder of architecture, or if it's really somehow steeped in magic, but it is missable. It's one of Spichka's quests. I don't think that it gets put on your map or in your quest log until you actually talk to him, but I think that Capella tells you. Oh really? You talk to him in everybody's path? In the Bachelor's path, he, being near him makes your health go down. And so I've spoken to Grace. And so she believes and thinks the same way as we do. That is good. You have not, I hope, confused or disappointed her. No, I've only made her true faith firmer. So we got more reputation back for that. So we're back to almost full. So I would like to trade with one of those little boys before I sleep. Because I want a Meridorm. I don't have enough bandages, unfortunately, to trade with you. Hopefully we'll run into a little boy pretty soon. Yeah, melts your skin off. What day do you talk to him as Barak? That's a good question. There's a little boy now. Hopefully he actually has some Meridorm for me. Then I can go sleep at Lara's. You meet the Prophet pretty soon. It might be day 5. Where is everybody? Both dog heads, blah blah blah, trade, blah blah blah. I'll get both Meridorm, because I apparently forgot to get some yesterday, so let's see if we can get a powder out of this little girl. I'm gonna run and check these canisters first, and hopefully she's still there when I turn around, since everything tends to reset so much. 2 needles, that is a huge score. Alright. Yes. Excellent. To go fill up this water. If this girl has a second powder, like That would have been ridiculous. Yeah, I hope that they do a little bit more with the termitary. I was very satisfied with the abattoir in this game.
Haruspex was offered 100,000 for his inheritance.
I liked the
He
layout,
refused.
just like everything. The termitary? I didn't really find it creepy. It's not like anything that's in there like actually attacks you. That would make it all the like creepier. I think like if it was like dark, if there were plague clouds going around, and maybe like stuff oozing down the walls, rats, that would definitely have made the termitary a lot better of an experience. But as far as it just being a giant empty building where like people are just kind of chilling, I don't know. I came here to sleep. That is what I was doing. I use a Meridorm, and then I sleep 6 whole hours. Just because we have the time to waste. Is there hanging meat in the apiary somewhere? I was not aware of this. Alright, 6 p.m. I vaguely want to lockpick into some houses. I had to waste a lockpick on that one quest. I would like to get rid of this white whip as well. Should have stashed it in Lara's house. Actually, I can go right there because it's literally right next to me still. Ugh. My health is pretty full again, thanks to that Meridorm, so that's pretty sweet. Hello, take this white whip for me. I don't want it. I don't really need the brown twire either. It'd really be okay if those 2 items just disappeared. Do you have a powder for me? Make my Clara run really super duper easy? End up with 50 powders? And just like not, I was clicking but she was just not using that lockpick for some reason. Just like, I don't feel like it. Lockpick into another house, are you kidding? How boring. Yeah, the abattoir isn't creepy, it's just, I like the layout of it, and I just thought it looked cool. It's just like a giant, like, cavern. I don't think those bags are full of meat. I can't imagine what they are full of, because it's not often that you just see bags hanging about, but it's not the best way to keep meat, so I always assumed it was something else. Clara, you can trade the twire for Brock's Twirin mixtures, so you can go into plague houses. Yeah, the polyhedron, I expected it to be more the first time I went in there, but It is pretty cool looking. It's just kind of a one-time experience where after you've done it, you don't really need to go back in there. Yeah, once you've gotten the true endings for all like 3 of them, everything that you can do, your extra little snippet you can get in the theater at the end. Yeah, I felt like there probably could have been some more like cows and bulls or like ritual kind of stuff in the abattoir. Yeah, I think that some people act like the polyhedron's a little bit more of a big deal because, well, one, it's kind of an interesting concept, and you want it to be like kind of mystical, and it is a bit to an extent, but I think it's just because of how like hard you have to work to get in there on certain playthroughs. Sometimes you like don't get in there at all, so I am finding it interesting that once you lockpick into a house, both of the doors are open, because in the original, if you opened one door into the house, then you could only get back in that one door. You couldn't just go out any old door that's in the house and be able to get back in. So that's something that they definitely changed for the HD version, and it makes it easier, but it doesn't make as much sense, I guess. Vaguely, just want to know. Do you have anything that I want? Oh yeah, that's right, he only has Meridorum. I'll trade for one more. Just so I don't have to think about that for a little bit more, getting Meridorum. I'll just have a bunch, and I'll be able to sell them if I need extra cash. Which might be a reason to get more of them. Just have like a stockpile of a bunch of them since I have so many razors. Well, I was hoping I would get a second powder, but that's not been in the cards so far. Oh geez, he didn't see me scare that lady. Oh, there's a loaf of bread over here. A second powder girl. With no powder. Stupid blonde boy. Keeps almost seeing me. When I'm not even looking. Ah, shoot. I want to kill the kid. One person in the house runs after you. I always thought it was weird that all of the other people in the house didn't like catch on that like, hey, there's a thief in here. I always felt that if one person saw you that it should trigger everybody. Not exactly to come running out of nowhere, but if they like run through the room and somebody else is in there, the other person should start chasing you too. And it definitely would make the game a lot harder, but or at least stealing. But it would make a lot more sense. I'm gonna save just because of that loaf of bread. Food is probably the main objective of stealing in Clara's run. I just want one more powder. Make my day. I guess I have time. Because all of our quests are done. Powder mining. Jeez. I guess I have the time to waste. It's only 7 p.m. No, the little boys didn't. The little blonde ones, at least, they didn't attack you in the original. Yeah, that would make it a little more interesting. I mean, in this game, it's largely slated that women are kind of useless. They die in one hit. They just run away. Man, this powder is taking forever to get. I will persevere. Do I have... Oh, I do have enough waters. Oh, and there's a little girl. If that little girl has the powder, and the one I've been trying to mine from doesn't... Okay. It was worth a shot. Always worth a shot. She's on the first floor, so that makes this like even better. Wow, I saw that little girl and I thought the little boy behind me was a second one. I was gonna be like, jeez. I guess I'll get a couple of those. I can trade razors to the patrolmen too for bullets, so... Gotta find a powder. What are the chances of never getting one? I mean, I guess they're there. That would be really sad, but they're there. That guy just like fell out of the sky. Oh, there are female dog heads? That's interesting. vaguely want to talk to this girl. I haven't seen one of those girls have a lockpick in a while. I've largely just gotten my lockpicks from killing thugs. This girl's never gonna have a powder. Never ever. I might give up for right now. Okay. I'll keep going out the front so I can keep trying to trade with people who show up. Maybe this girl will have a powder for me and I won't have to go back in that house ever again. Maybe. Nope. Of course not. And now I keep getting drunks that don't have any bandages. Course. I don't know how much longer I should try this for. I might just give up. Or try a different house. Yeah, I think I give up. For right now, at least. Not that there's really much else I could be doing right now, so maybe I will end the video here for today. And I'll do the end of the day video on the next set. Without trading for them, you can get, I guess it depends on whose path. In Clara's path, I would say you probably are going to want to be trading for them. Because in Barak's path, you can just keep making Panacea. And in Daniel's path, you get as many as 5 or 6 Panacea. And then he gets the most powders throughout his path, just because people just give them to you, which is crazy. I think I often tend to have the most people get sick playing as Daniel as well. Although some runs I only have like 2 people get sick out of all 22 adherents, so you just never know, I guess. I just like to trade for as many as I can throughout the course of the game. I usually end up with quite a few extra. Sometimes I've had as many as like 10 or 20 extra powders. So it's just fun to trade for them. It's so like exciting to find a powder because their chances are so slim of appearing. 4 hours of day left. Very little exhaustion. Yeah, I might, save our end of the day video for the next time and, stop about now. Because I mean, how many more times could I insanely go in and out of that door, hoping that she'll have a powder eventually? I mean, I'm sure I could do that all night, but as long as I have enough powder items, I would keep doing it, but it's probably not that exciting to watch. And my exhaustion isn't going up that fast, so I could probably sleep for like an hour. But that wouldn't really be that helpful. I'd rather use another Meridorm and get my health up. Ooh, I just picked up some hazelnuts. That's pretty sweet. Raid all the trash cans in the park. Did I already check those? I don't even remember. And then the only ones that I have left to get now are the ones by the stairs. Over there, so... Can't remember if I checked that one or not. Still have 3 hours of day left. What could I possibly do with all this time? I can go in and out and see if the oops. Thugs will appear a little bit earlier than midnight. Sometimes they do. It's gotten considerably darker, so who knows? I don't think I checked this trash can yet. But yeah, I've, if anything, enjoyed comparing a lot of the differences between both paths. Oh, I guess I didn't, for the quest titles. The main quest is usually called the Spirit of Rebellious Order, so instead it has been changed to the Spirit of the Restless Kin. So they've changed kin to order, or order to kin rather, from the original. So it's really just like ever so slight changes where they used rebellious instead of restless. Spirit remains the same, and they just happen to change order to kin. The curative substances used to be called remedies, which you know is exactly the same. The living used to be called alive. And Grace used to be called Laska, which is what her name used to be in the original. So those are all the very important updates to the quest titles. Very important. Oh, I was gonna duck into the shop and out again to see if I could get some thugs to appear. Let's see if this works. Done quite a bit of running around. Go this way, see if we spawn more thugs. Yeah, it was always called the Order. They just, the game makers wanted that change. Like, they wanted certain name changes. I mean, changing the names, like, of characters is always a little bit weird, but, if those are the names that they intend to use for Pathologic 2 or Pathologic Remake, whatever they're gonna call it, in the end, then I don't mind it for the HD version. To help me get used to it a little sooner. And then I won't hold it against the remake. Why are these names different? Like I do in this HD version. Almost there. That's not entirely true, that it was done in-house. There were a few changes that they okayed, but they did outsource the translation to, actually, I think translators from the US, because I had somebody who claimed that they were the translator for the Bachelor's Path, comment on my YouTube Let's Play. Because I used to have the only, or the most complete, Let's Play of the original game. These will sell for more today, so I'm just gonna sell them. Wow, Tyron sells for as much today as it does in Daniel's Path on day 7. Alrighty, how much money? Almost 20k. Still not enough to buy the pistol for her. It wasn't that it was wrong, because they didn't really change anything in this HD version. The only thing that was like a good change, I guess, was that they wanted the names to be more similar for certain things, but Other than that, a lot of the changes were unnecessary. Those changes to all the quest titles were mostly just so they could change names and not overlook any, like changing the one that was Laska to Grace because there was a name change. Makes sense because they changed her name, so if they left it as Laska, no one would understand why is this quest called Laska? Unless you had played the original and knew that her name was Laska in the original. So changes like that make sense, but just to arbitrarily change all the quest titles just doesn't make sense. Because they're all synonyms. They'll change a single word sometimes, where it's just like, does it really matter whether the quest is called Messenger or Harbinger? Like, did that really... Whether it was Spirit of the Rebellious Order versus Spirit of the Restless Order? I guess there they changed kin, but did they need to change Rebellious to Restless? Was that enough of a meaning change? I just, I'm not seeing what the worth of spending the time for that was, when they could have added more story bits from the Russian text and translated them over to beef up some of this text, especially in Clara's path where some stuff was just missing. I know, but they did that with all the titles where, yeah, sure, in one example, Harbinger might fit better than Messenger, but I don't think that was the case for every single title change, because they actually did go through and change every single title for all 3 paths. It's a lot of titles without really any good reason, except for just, let's change all the titles. Or I could see if they did it for just the ones that didn't make sense, if there are any, which I don't think there are. But, changing the ones for to include names that changed made sense. Alrighty. I am not sure if I'm hearing Discord go off in just my headphones too, or if it's just on my laptop. The original was exactly the same. Like, none of the text that actually got changed was much of a difference. So if they changed anything, it was synonyms. I mean, you can see I have my YouTube run. Oops. I just didn't move back on that one hit. Just stood there and took it. I don't really see how it flows that much better. There were a couple areas where it does, but largely it's about the same. Like, reading it out loud, you really see it. Where there were like times when I had to add stuff in to make it make more sense, but there are just as many times in this HD version as the original. Where it's like, well, they kind of need an extra word in there for this to make sense, or where I've seen text repeat where it wasn't like, Daniel, like, trying to play a word game. They just repeated the text where they shouldn't have. Where sometimes they do that, where they'll have somebody repeat back text, but that's intentional. Yeah, I figured that the Discord server updates could be heard on the stream. That's okay. It's all pathologic in the end, right? Now let me trade with you before you get killed. I guess I could see if I can get that bandage from him after he's killed. Usually you can. Oops. I just didn't back up in time. I keep doing that. I'll live. I just got a free bandage. Although I guess, if you or them, if somebody kills a drunk after you've traded with them, you can pick your bottles of water back up, which is kind of funny. I definitely understand, to an extent, wanting to change a lot of details, because when I write stuff myself, I'll go back and just be like, I don't like that comma being there. It doesn't seem like there's a natural pause. I don't know, just like tear it to pieces, but I feel like they should have added more content from the Russian translation that was missing. Because from what I understand, there was a significant amount of storyline that they pulled out of the English translation that was in the Russian. I'm trying to think of what some of them are, because some of them they left text lines that had to do with a storyline that they didn't put in, so you'll see it every once in a while on certain people's text lines, or they'll say something in their voice acting that they never put into the game. So you'll get like more story out of the voice acting sometimes, which is one of the reasons why I loved the original voice acting. Just because they had extra story bits that weren't ever mentioned in the text. I'm trying to think of what some of those are. Because that was one thing that I had meant to go back and add to my walkthrough as well, that you can hear them discussing sometimes certain things, or certain like rumors will only be in the voice acting and they won't actually ever be in the text. Oh yeah, there are huge storylines that aren't in here at all. Somebody described them all somewhere. I should see if I can find that link and post it. I can't remember which canisters I checked again now. Alright, it's about time to head back to the theater, so that's where I'm gonna go. Yeah, they didn't add anything new to the HD version from the original. It's all exactly the same. The only thing they did was move around a couple words to make it sound a little bit better, which I don't think that they succeeded in. It sounds wholly the same to me. They did not add any extra story to this HD version. And by the time I actually get here, no time has passed. I will go around and collect the stuff from the trash cans behind. Oh, he saw me from way over there. I haven't seen very many instances where it was that different, and they definitely don't add any content. I just feel like it was like I don't see why they went to the effort of updating the game like that. Oops. Start backpedaling toward the theater while the time goes. I just wish that they had added more content. Whoops. Still not time yet. We have 6 more horrible seconds to go. I don't think it was that poorly translated. There are some instances where you can see it, but
the day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
One of them managed to curb the family feud.
Bad news. The governor will abuse his power, and the rest won't let him get away with this. Nothing's changed.
The town was placed in quarantine. From now on, the infected districts will be locked down, and no one will be able to leave until the situation is resolved.
Well, it won't be. They won't figure it out.
yeah, I guess when you compare the two next to each other, maybe one is obviously better, but I felt that they were similar enough that, you know, it's not like one's completely incomprehensible. Like, they're largely the same, and that's why I just I do see how you're saying just that it had a bad reputation for being a poor translation. Just the update may have been enough to put it in a better light, enough for more people to consider playing it. But I don't know. I think there are always going to be people who just aren't going to play a lot of certain things. Pathologic's definitely a game that a lot of people, even the HD version, have been... It's going to be overlooked, and it's a difficult game, so even people who... difficult to get into, I guess. Difficult to start up. Because that first day, geez, how many times you have to play it to get through it the first time, but if you persevere, then you don't really ever have to play another day twice, unless you know you have an accident, but... yeah. Yeah, so many people who, didn't make it off the first day, and, thus never played the game. But I think, we, made it through day 2. Yeah. I'm never too stressed when I play it. There are certain days that are a little bit more stressful than others, or if I collect a bunch of items in the middle of the day and then realize, oops, I was supposed to be doing this quest, and start to run out of time, but that's a little bit. Yeah, I guess it depends on what run. In Daniel's Path, you always have so much money from like the 5th day on that I just never had an issue with anything. But yeah, Clara's Path, food. If you aren't used to breaking into houses, like, you just would starve to death. Yeah, as a new player. I don't know, I just felt like Daniel had enough food, enough money rather, for food. I guess that's when a lot of players would try out a lockpick for the first time. I always try to keep my hunger meter as low as possible, so if I ever notice it like starting to tick up, I just eat a bunch of food. I don't know why. Because I usually leave my health as low as possible, so you'd think I'd leave my hunger as high as possible, but I just hate it when it, yeah, the price hike on day 2. That's why I always try and buy as much bread, dried fish, and smoked meat as I can on the first day. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely, yeah, it's for that quest. That quest that basically teaches you to pay attention to the prices and how to buy food and get money out of people. Yeah, it's, it definitely, is a very difficult day 2 after coming off of that day 1 that you had to play over and over, but I mean, after you get through those first 2 days of trial and error, you're really set for the rest of the game. I guess until they start throwing wrenches, like, plague clouds and rats, and, oh, and there are the flamethrower guys that we already talked about who burn you too. But, you know, or quests where you have to kill 7 bad guys right in a row at the same time. So many good times. But yeah, I always appreciate having you guys in the stream, all of our silly pathologic discussions and all that. It definitely makes it a lot more enjoyable as I'm going along, especially when I'm glancing over to see what you guys typed and I walk into a plague cloud. That happened twice yesterday. But yeah, it definitely makes it really enjoyable, so I'm glad that you guys have been going through the whole thing with me, so definitely get into each day, and then I'll be doing the pattern of playing each day as the Bachelor, then the Haruspex, then the Changeling, so I will yeah, I'll definitely get into that pattern as soon as I get through the first few days as Clara. Then I'll have to catch the Haruspex up again. Yeah, but it's been fun, and I've been on the side playing the game through with my best friend, so that's been fun too. We're on day 9. Well, actually we just finished day 9 as the Bachelor, so that'll be fun getting through the game twice, like right at the same time. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here, so thanks for tuning in. It was enjoyable as always. I'm gonna go sit on the Pathologic Discord for a while and see what's been going on. But yeah, until tomorrow.